All right, we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. The first question is, what word or phrase does Paul use in verse 16 to refer to sexual intimacy with a prostitute? In 1 Corinthians 6, verse 16, he says, "Do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in body? For it is said, the two will become one flesh." So to refer to sexual intimacy with a prostitute, he uses this phrase, he who unites himself. So unites himself. The next question is, what does he use, or how does he use this same word or phrase in verse 17? And that is here, but he who unites himself with the Lord is one with him in spirit. And the question, what do you think this means? I think it's a very significant point that Paul uses this phrase. It's the same in the Greek as well. He says you're uniting yourself with a prostitute, and he's talking about the physical intimacy of sexual intercourse. The physical intimacy. This is the deepest level of intimacy that two individuals can experience. But then using that same phrase, he describes the spiritual intimacy that the Christian is intended to have with the Lord. He says, he who unites himself with the Lord is one with him in spirit, just like the one who unites himself with the prostitute is one with her in body, the physical and the spiritual. This is emphasizing a point that's resounding throughout the entire Bible, Old and New Testament. God wants the deepest possible relationship with his children. He wants us to be as close as humanly possible, as divinely possible. It probably would be a better way to put it. Just as two individuals engaged in sexual intercourse are inseparable, are united, are open, are naked before each other, are vulnerable before each other, this is the same vulnerable condition that God desires us to have in this relationship with him. And maintaining this kind of relationship, nurturing this kind of relationship, needs to be the primary focus of our religion, of our Christianity. Not so much focusing on doing certain things, on not doing other things, on being certain places, being in worship, and making sure that we're following a set standard of practices, of religious activities consistently. We need to be focused on having this kind of genuine relationship. And this kind of relationship, as anyone who's ever been in any kind of relationship, whether with a relative, with a spouse, with a friend, we understand that relationships need quality time. And with God, this is what I believe we need to be focusing on, having consistent time with him every day, and then also having quality time, making sure that that time that we do spend with him is honest, is genuine, that we're not just reading something quickly just so we can say we had our devotional time, but that we're opening ourselves and sharing with him our thoughts and our feelings, acknowledging the places where we've gone wrong and we've walked outside of his will, asking him for help to correct those places, sharing with him our joys, sharing with him the good things about our day, just talking to him as one would talk to a friend, the closest friend, as one would talk to a spouse. Maintaining this kind of relationship with Christ needs to be our primary focus, and then all of the other things of Christianity, all of the transformation of character, new way of thinking, new way of acting, of speaking, all of those things will fall into place as a result of that kind of relationship. Because you can't be in any relationship genuinely without being changed, whether that's with a human or, in this case, with God. And so being in this relationship, in this intimate, honest relationship with God, this will work the transformation that God desires in us.